that the angels wear black for Hussein? Why are we adhering to society when we have our own religion, our own morals, our own ethics, our own traditions? He never gave an answer, and then I didn't bother to question further. I didn't want to make him uncomfortable. But what I want to question is that why do we do this? Is it just enough to wear black and come to a majlis? Or should we take it further? I remember a couple of years ago, my teacher told me, it's good you wear black, it's good you do latmi and everything, you beat your chest. But if you really want to feel the pain of Hussein and his family, you constantly hear in the members people say, Alems, they talk about how they were thirsty, how they were denied water. He said, come, just for 3 days, just for the last 3 days running up to Ashura, if you have, like, say, 2 cups of water a day, make it 1 cup. He never told me to completely stop. He said, lessen your amount of water intake, drink, and just feel the pain, sympathize with them. And in my head, when I heard this, I thought, oh, this is easy. How hard can it be? Believe me, try it and you see. Try it and you see how your body feels weak, how you just feel so depressed and you literally cannot move, let alone for a 13-year-old boy like Qasim, a man, to run up there and fight the enemies. Men 10 times his size. I said the other day that the sword was a struggle for him to lift, let alone to fight warriors. So let's sympathize with them. Let's forget about cars and women should forget about clothes and shoes. Just for Muharram, let's just sympathize with them. Let's think about what they went through. Let's put ourselves through a bit of that pain so we can understand. So on the day of judgment we can stand in front of Hussein and say, Hussein, you died thirsty and I tried to feel your pain. And I'm sure that you will help us. Now, time is running short, so I'll just give you a very short story about one of the members in Karbala. His name was John, or John. And as we know, he's a black slave from the tribe of Nababe. John was bought by Fazl ibn Abbas. When he took him back to Medina, Imam Ali alayhi salam saw Fazl among the other slaves, and he saw John among the other slaves, and he said to Fazl, I will purchase this slave off you for 150 dinars. People questioned him, why are you choosing this man for? He's black, he smells. What are you doing? There's all these other beautiful slaves. Choose them. But they don't know that Ali was investing for his son Hussein. John, after being bought by Ali, he gave him to Abu Dhar as a gift. He said, Abu Dhar, this is an amanat to you. Look after him. Abu Dhar, amongst seeing John was thinking, now he's going to put me somewhere underground to work or treat me like this or that. Abu Dhar opened his arms and said, come to me. He hugged him and he said, you, before my slave, are my brother. John was shook, he was shook by this. What words? What is this man saying? And Abu Dhar replied, a gift from Ali can never be looked down upon. Its worth is much greater. So John, amongst Abu Dhar, he learned about Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. He learned their teachings and everything. And he defended them alongside Abu Dhar. When people like Mu'awiyah would spread propaganda, John would stand up against it, and he would educate the people. When Mu'awiyah saw this, he said to Abu Dhar and to John, he banished them to the desert of Rabada, which on the way, Abu Dhar ended up passing away. He passed away and John came back crying and wailing to Ali's house. He knocked on the door and he said, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. My master, Abu Dhar, has left the world. Ali said to him, come in, come in. And he then passed him on to his son Hassan alayhi salam. and from Hassan he was passed to Hussain alayhi salam. So he was very familiar with the teachings of the Ahlul Bayt. He was very familiar with them, he knew them, and he ended up in Karbala. Now, when the events of Karbala were about to happen, Ashura, John came to Imam Hussain and he said, Ya Hussain, please give me the opportunity to go out and fight for you, to defend you. How can I stay here and watch all you men giving your lives, and we just stand here and not do anything about it? Hussain said, I'll give you the permission to return back. He never gave him the permission to fight. He said, go back, don't fight, save yourself. John said, why? Because I'm black? Because my body smells? What is it, Hussain? The doors of heaven, you can open them to me. Please. Who will I serve after serving you? When you have gone, who is worthy of serving? Imam Hussain gave him the permission and he said, go then. After fighting many of the opposition, he fell to the ground, and in a hadith it says that Imam Hussain came and stood above the bodies of 10 people. 10 people. Amongst them was John. When he reached John, now imagine what John is feeling. Someone who's been banished for the whole of his life, looked down upon, yet when he meets the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, they value him despite the colour of his skin. They value him despite the smell of him. So he sees his master Hussain come above him, and Hussain puts his hands in the sky and says, Allah, this is John. This is John, Allah. Make him amongst the righteous and keep him close to the family of Muhammad and Al Muhammad. Now the funny thing is that it's not just Muslims that mourn Ashura. You've had many times Christians and Jews and even Zoroastrians, everyone knows about Karbala, everyone knows about Hussain. Now I'll bring you another group, and this group are Afro-Americans, and they mainly are in America. They come from the tribe of John. And these black people every year, they uphold him, and they honour him, and they cry for Hussain. They say, look at this man who was a slave, but he died a free man. He died a free man. Who gave him that opportunity? Hussain. So it's very shameful that us Shia don't even realise the value of Muharram or of Hussain. I turn to myself and I say, your skin isn't black, but your actions are dark. Your heart is black. Please, the same way Hussain that you accepted John, accept my actions. Help me, guide me, so I may be a sacrifice to you, the same way John was a sacrifice. And if I'm not good enough for you, then at least let me be a slave to your slave. Let me be a slave of John. I'd like to pass you on to Ajabay Sunuzi, as I don't want to take up your time much further.